Episode 14, Chakraview. Niyati anxiously waited for the test results. She was hoping against hope that it wouldn't be COVID. But deep within, she knew that she and Ma had been running high fever and had a bad throat. All the symptoms pointed towards the deadly virus infection. Niyati was deeply concerned about her mother. Ma was 92 and was just recovering from a fracture in the right foot. If she would be COVID positive, oh God, then it will become quite a challenge. A WhatsApp message. It was from the lab. Niyati's worst fears came true. She and Ma were both positive. Dr. Pranav finished the last of the online consultation calls for the day. He was 60 and had now begun to tire quickly. He still had to go through the health updates of all the COVID patients in his small 20-bed hospital. Except for patients in bed 11 and 6, rest all were doing fine. As he began to wear the PPE kit, Ramila Ben, his senior most nurse, who had been with him since 2 decades now, walked in. Sir, Paresh went away in the evening. I have called in Kanti, but he won't be able to join before noon tomorrow. So will you please ask Nayan to stay on in the night duty today? Dr. Pranav was both irritated and angry. But he knew that Paresh will run back to Abu Road, his village. It had been 4 months on the trot for Paresh, and he must have simply got tired of the non-stop COVID duty. The constant heat of the PPE kit, the umpteen precautions, the close contact with corona-infected patients, the non-stop flow of patients, and the round-the-clock monitoring must have taken its toll. Kanti was a good replacement, but he charged double the rates. Do I have a choice now? Thought Dr. Pranav annoyingly. Dr. Pranav had been running his small hospital in a posh but crowded area of the city. He was a good doctor, very warm towards his patients. The line of those wishing to consult him only increased over the years. Flu, seasonal viral infections, typhoid, malaria, dengue, and such other diseases were common in the populace, and Dr. Pranav was adept in handling them. He, in fact, became a counselor to most of them, advising on lifestyle, food habits, how to think positively, and so many other things. When the COVID pandemic hit the city, the municipal corporation asked all the clinics and hospitals to shut down. However, locking the doors of the hospital could stop the patients, but not the large scale of upkeep that was required within a hospital. Cartons of medicines which had a shelf life of just a few months had to be either disposed of or returned back to the suppliers. But with the smaller hospitals asked to close down and the pandemic gripping the entire country, there were no takers for the medicines, resulting in huge losses. The equipment had to be cleaned regularly, for which some basic staff was required. The power supply couldn't be cut off at all, nor the load reduced, as the deep refrigeration unit had to function 24/7. Hospitals were supplied power on commercial rates. So, though there were reduced power bills, yet the charges had to be paid. There was no income, so to speak, but the maintenance of the hospital and the payment to the staff had to continue as of old. 6 nurses, 6 ward boys, 3 cleaners, and 2 receptionists all had to be paid during that period. Once the clinics and hospitals were asked to reopen, Dr. Pranav tried to gather his staff again. However, 3 nurses, 4 ward boys, and 1 cleaner had left for their native villages. With much effort, Dr. Pranam could hire qualified nurses and ward boys. But now the fear of COVID had become so rampant that at the earlier rates of remuneration, none of the staff was ready to work. So, Dr. Pranav had to offer higher rates. The patients began to queue up again, but the level of precautions to be taken had increased manyfold, and thus only a limited number of patients could be allowed to come in every day. The doctor had to procure PPE kits for his entire staff, and hundreds of liters of sanitizer were stocked up every week. When the pandemic numbers began to increase, at the insistence of the municipal corporation, the small hospital became a COVID hospital. This meant that Dr. Pranav had to restructure the medicine procurement, purchase of equipment, and thousands of other small necessities that were required. He was never known to overcharge. But what with the increasing costs in the running of the hospital, and especially for the manpower involved, Dr. Pranav was forced to take high fees from his patients. Qualified and experienced nursing staff, they had they had already doubled their remuneration. The ward boys and cleaners repeatedly reminded the doctor of the dangers that they were exposing themselves to each day, and hence demanded much higher wages. Plus, a COVID hospital also had to have its own kitchen. Oh God, that was an additional headache. So Dr. Pranav outsourced the food to a catering company. Again, that resulted in increased expenses. His insistence on patients taking steam and drinking hot water and tea would elicit a quite bemused response from them. His long list of food items that contained high protein, calcium, and zinc generally did not satisfy the patients. They looked for and demanded some miracle drug that could cure them overnight. Even the antibiotics were frowned upon as medicines that were for the normal flu. It took Dr. Pranav some convincing to make them understand that there was no wonder drug for this virus. However, not every patient would agree, and straight after talking to him, would dial the number of some other consulting physician. Dr. Pranav wouldn't advise patients to get admitted when they had mild infection. But as time passed and the number of COVID cases reduced before the second wave, he realized that the beds in the hospital remained empty because his hospital being a COVID designated hospital, patients with any other ailments would simply not get admitted, being fearful of catching the virus. Empty beds meant lesser money exchange. But that did not mean that the staff could be lessened or the medicine procurement could be reduced. The junior doctor who was now visiting the hospital for the initial checkup of the COVID patients also came at a much higher rate of remuneration. When Dr. Pranav took the video call of Niyati, he knew that theirs was a case of mild infection. The mother and daughter weren't in a bad condition at all. 14 days of healthy and hot food, steam inhalation, gargling, checking the oxygen levels, and of course the prescribed antibiotics would do the trick. He cleared his throat and began. Niyati Ben, for you I am not really worried. You are relatively young and can battle it out. But for your mother, I'm afraid it won't be so easy. I would advise you to hospitalize her at my place immediately. But then she is 92 and hence will find it terrible to be alone here in the hospital. So, as your family doctor, I would advise that you too join her here in the same room. She will be mentally more at peace if you are here too. You see, that way we can monitor her round the clock. Can't allow any complication to develop, you see. It will be only 20,000 rupees per day. I will instruct Chaya to get all the formalities done immediately. Get admitted tonight itself, Niyatiben. I'll send across the ambulance.